All right, and welcome back. For those of y'all that don't know, we have a podcast where we're reviewing different whiskeys. I am Ferlin. We have Lane here. He's brought in a new bottle for us to try out. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, last time we were sitting here, we did Monkey Shoulder, which is it's a great blended single. It's a blended malt whiskey, and it's really good whiskey. So I wanted to kind of go in the same direction in a different area. So this is Stranahans. This is an American whiskey. It's a Colorado whiskey. Stranahans is out of Denver, Colorado. They do single malt American whiskey. So there's a few differences. And again, we talked about the subtle differences that make, like when you didn't taste a whole lot of the barrel on the Monkey Shoulders because it's used barrels. Right. Well, these are going to be new charred oak barrels. So you're going to get a lot of that tannin and spicy and stuff coming forward with this one. But this one is a little different. This one's actually not one that anyone's going to be able to just go and get. Right. This is Stranahans Barrel Select. It was selected by Total Wine in Columbia, South Carolina. It's a little bit more than the standard small batch price. It was about 60 to 65.
Gotcha.
2 3/4, 3 stars, somewhere in there if you want to go on the star system. So it's not going to be exact, but it's going to still give you a good idea of what they're going for. Normally when they do a barrel select, they want something a little off the wall and different, but they don't want something completely different. They still want to appeal to their crowd.
So our local, base. So let me get this straight. I'm kind of new to this. So our local Total Wine distributor drove out to Colorado and hand selected a barrel and said, we want to sell
this barrel. And that's exactly how it works. It's, they'll pick, they've got a circle that they go to. They say, hey, this store wants to do a barrel pick. Stranahans has offered it. What are you going to do? And this is very common practice, especially in the larger ones. There's a smaller local liquor store. By the way, we're in the Bible Belt, so we have ABC packaging stores or liquor stores. We are very strict on our liquor laws. Can't buy it on Sundays. Can't buy it after 7 p.m. at all.
Correct.
Has to be sold in an individual store. They can be like our Total Wine and our Total Wine liquor are attached when you go in the double doors, but you have to go through a separate set of doors to get to the liquor store. And they close at 7 p.m. If the clock signs 7 and they're ringing you up, they cancel sale and they kick you out. It's 100% against the law after 7 p.m.
Yep.
Now I've been in here a lot. I do most of my shopping at Total Wine, honestly. I've got a few friends in there who are very knowledgeable, good friends. They help me, guide me in the right direction. Again, I'm still fairly new to whiskey.
Right.
I started drinking when I was 25. I'm 28 now. I haven't been doing this for too terribly long, and I've really hardcore got into whiskey about 8 months ago. And my collection went from 2 or 3 bottles to 70, 80 bottles.
Seems like you have a really good passion for it.
I've only ever had one bottle that I didn't like.
Right.
And we'll get to that one eventually, I'm sure. Especially if everybody keeps liking, sharing, subscribing.
Yes.
Keeps it interesting and keeps us moving forward. Now, this is, I wanted to go with the Stranahans this time. My first few episodes, I want to kind of hit the diversity on whiskey. Right. So we hit a Scotch single malt. Well, it was a blended malt, but of single malts. So I wanted to do an American single malt. I haven't done a lot of American single malts, and this is a wonderful whiskey. It's made in the Stranahans Distillery out of Denver, Colorado. Master distiller is Rob Diedrich. Now, I know they use 4 different barley strains in this mash build.
Wow.
So just, like I think you've got like 12 different types of corn that people use.
Right.
But this is, they use 4 different barleys. Now it's 100% malted barley in new charred oak barrels, aged a minimum of 2 years. So it's not very specific on the age statement. It just says minimum 2 years. Now again, whiskey has to be aged, but there's no set limit on how long it has to be aged, unless you're talking about bourbon. So the 2 years minimum is awesome that they're doing that to give it that time to really get into it and to to give you some more tannins and more flavor and more wood notes and give it all. I do have the official nose, taste and finish on it. The nose is caramel, vanilla, butterscotch, maple, and leather.
Wow, leather.
Taste is spicy, honey, vanilla, pear, tobacco, leather. And leather, for me, leather is more earthy.
I wonder how you get that out of a oak.
It's all got to do with the tannins and the way everything's interacting. And the finish, it's a honey syrup, and then you get the spice just carries on. And that's the official notes, and that's actually the official notes for the small batch. Now,
so this sounds like it's got an earthy taste to it with a sweet aftertaste.
Yes. Now again, this is not the small batch. These are the small batch notes.
Gotcha.
This is a single barrel, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be kind of adventurous, going out and naming off our own stuff and really feeling what we're getting. Now, we talked about corks last time.
Right.
This one's a synthetic cork.
Nice.
Still get the pop, but less likely to lose your cork. Now, for everyone at home, we are using nosing glasses. It's not the easiest thing to drink out of sometimes, but definitely helps with this when you're doing a little bit of reviewing and you're really wanting to get the smells and the aromas going.
So, for those just listening, it's actually an interesting looking bottle here.
It is too tall for my shelf.
Yes. This could be an issue, but I'm sure it would fit nice in a wine rack.
Yes, I'm sure it would.
Perfect size for a wine rack. It's a Colorado whiskey, Stranahans. It's a beautiful bottle. It's about the size of a wine bottle as far as height-wise. It's got a beautiful yellow banana color label that just kind of drapes around the on a diagonal path going across the bottle. Looks very. It looks like a banana. It
gives you that
it gives
kind
me
of
that
look to it.
banana feel. It looks like something I would see, down in South America somewhere. But
now, another good thing to
Colorado.
Another good thing to note about the bottle,
Uh-huh.
when it's sold, it has just over 2 ounce shot glass, stainless steel shot glass, upside down, package sealed to the top. Gives you something for measuring. It's got the 1 ounce mark, the 2 ounce mark, and then it goes a little past.
Nice, and it comes with the bottle here when you get their bottle.
And that's something that's very distinct about them. The only other one that I know that does that is offhand is Tin Cup. I think there are a few more, but it's very few. Now this is bottle number 12-1675. I think I might have already said that, but just go ahead and reinforce. It's price point on this is about 60 to 65.
Yep.
About 3 stars, and it's 94 proof. So it's not the.
And it's a new charred oak.
It's a new charred oak, and it's a great whiskey. It's 47%. It's not too bad. It's fairly smooth, fairly easy to drink. It's a good whiskey. And like I said, this is gonna just try and remember yesterday when we were drinking. We tried the monkey shoulder.
Right.
Try and remember that taste and all that flavor you got from it. And keep in mind, this is the same barley. It's the same main
mixture.
grain.
Right.
Well, not mixture. It's the same main grain.
Right.
So keep that in mind. And let's give it a drink. Let's nose it first.
Just. Ooh, I do.
Oh, the honey's
yes.
front.
It's right up front.
This has got such a deep, rich honey scent, smell, odor to it, and it's really, really wonderful. If you dig a little deeper, you can smell like kind of syrupy, mapley, I guess would be a good word. Kind of waxy. It smells
I do smell it. Yeah.
I find
but it's weird because that waxy smell that you're describing, I can see where that would be classified as the leather.
It's leather to me is more earthy, kind of dark herbal almost. It's I've never really understood when people say leathery.
Yeah.
Because I perceive it.
Is it a
differently.
texture?
No, it's a smell. I'm
saying,
assuming.
do you perceive it as a texture versus?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's probably a better way to put it. Now I don't get butterscotch on this. I don't get I get the vanilla and the caramels. They're definitely there, and that's all with the barrel. I get so much honey off of this one. Deep honey. I get the spicy just a little bit, maybe cinnamon off the top.
But they don't classify this as honey. They don't talk about honey in it. But
no. But
I'm wondering if maybe it's the
It could
the
be
leather.
Well, it could be the single barrel. Keep in mind, these notes are for a small batch. So a small batch, they take a few different barrels and they mix them together.
Right.
And it can be like 20 barrels. They have, but you got to remember, some people for a regular batch has 200, 300 barrels in it. So this is one barrel that's added into the mix for the small batch. So this one can be very different than anything in the small batch.
I'm definitely getting the honey.
So much so that they do not list any notes for any small batch because they differ so much.
They differ so much. I can definitely get the honey and the vanilla.
Mm-hmm. The honey is just so forward for me.
I don't really smell much leather though.
The leather. It's for me that I think when I think leather, I think earthy.
Yeah.
I think
I don't smell the earth.
Or,
I smell.
Or open up a brand new pair of boots and
I smell sweet, savory.
Yes, I get that. All right, let's have a drink. Cheers.
All right.
And then you can tell it's a little younger because it has so much spice there.
It is younger. It's
but
really
I get
spicy.
Rich honey.
Yeah.
That honey is just so forward for me. And then after the honey, I get the vanilla, and I'm getting sweet, spiced fruit. Not citrus.
Not citrus. It's like a
and not a dark
something.
fruit. A lot of people will go into dark fruit like plum.
This is light. This is a light fruit. This is really hard to pinpoint. It's
apple,
sweet.
pear.
Apple, pear, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much mango. Mango gets citrusy.
Is that is that got like a cinnamon?
Yes, I get the cinnamon.
Yeah.
I relate the spice on this one to cinnamon a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get tobacco and leathery in the small batch, which I'm not finding that here at all.
No.
I'm getting and the finish. I get more spice on the finish. It's a shorter finish. It's not like some of the other whiskeys that I have, where it just goes for days. This is just you drink it, you swallow it, you sit for a second, and it just kind of dissipates. But the spice kind of lingers on the tip of my tongue.
Yes, definitely. It's still lingering. Yeah. This is definitely interesting.
Oh, the honey's so rich for me. And the viscosity, I guess, is a little thicker to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as
more oily. You think?
It's not quite as watery.
Yeah.
It's more. It's just.
I noticed that when we were swirling the glass, it kind of stayed on the outside of the glass like a line.
Yeah, you get that draw like whenever you have terrible windshield wipers. I'm gonna add water. Again, we're adding a few drops of water to see if we can't open up the oils in it.
Uh-huh. So those are you would listen at home. Lane has a actual straw. We're dropping just about 4 drops of water in.
My go-to is between 3 and 5.
Probably about half an ounce, maybe, if that.
Now, when you're adding water, you don't want to agitate it too much. You do want to give it a little bit of time to separate and really, really get into the oils and pull them out and separate everything out. But it makes a world of differences whenever you add water to a whiskey. It can be drastic differences that make you love or hate it.
Right.
Or it can be so subtle that you don't notice it.
Okay. Oh, wow. I got to be honest, it just blows my mind.
There's that tobacco.
Yeah, what 4 drops of water will do. It just completely changed the entire chemistry of this little...
I get those earthy tones. I get where they're saying tobacco. I don't get leather.
I taste the tobacco, or I feel the tobacco more.
Yeah.
It's not more of a taste. It's like a smell. You smell it on the palate of your tongue.
I lost all my fruit, though.
Yeah, no fruit's gone.
No fruit.
It's more earth.
I get honey, and I get earth tones.
Yep. That's crazy.
It's it darkened the whiskey up.
And that second drop was... It was... That's to give a description to this. Just the 4 drops of water took this from a honey, vanilla, cinnamon taste to a tobacco with a honey aftertaste.
Oh yeah, it makes worlds differences.
I mean, just completely just change it. Open it up and change it just a little bit. It blows my mind. I didn't even know that was something that's possible.
It's amazing and honestly, I learned by listening and watching people doing exactly what we're doing right here now.
So this is you're telling me before the show, this is your actual second bottle of this, because your first bottle had a little accident, didn't it?
So I do a lot of things. I am a construction worker. I'm a full-time sheet metal worker. I do metal work on the side. I do welding, fabricating, all sorts of little things, a little bit of blacksmithing. But another thing that me and my wife do is we run and operate a very small, we're not 501c. We're working on getting our state recognition first, and we're very small. We finance everything, but we run an animal rescue.
Right.
An exotic animal rescue, to be specific.
Yes. There's a lot of people that buy exotic animals and decide, I don't want this animal. It's not what I thought.
I specialize in aggressive birds.
Yes.
My wife is very big into reptiles. So I'm at work one day and I get a phone call from a buddy of ours who's staying with us for a while. Hey, Lane, one of the snakes is out. And he's on your whiskey collection.
Now, this isn't a small snake. I mean, the snakes that
he's about 6 foot. He's not very big. He's still small. And for me, he's still small. He's going to reach 12 foot. He's going to get 3 inches diameter. He's a coastal carpet python. He's a very healthy snake. He was surrendered to us whenever they found out how big he was going to get. And he got out because the cage that we actually have for him was an older cage that we got just to kind of just because it was easily affordable for us. Because again, we're financing most of this. He pushed up through the corner and peeled it back, and he slid right out.
Just strong enough.
Went all the way over to the other side of the room, and they're tree snakes, so he climbs.
Right.
So he went all the way up to the top.
So what did he? Let me get this straight. He climbed your whiskey cabinet.
My whiskey shelf, and he broke 3 bottles, including the Stranahans.
The first one.
Now. I was devastated because this is a single barrel and I can't get it anymore.
Right.
I can't get it. So I went to Total Wine and I talked to my very close friends there.
Yes.
And he said, no, we sold out of it. And he said, but let me check. And he went and he checked in the back and he checked in the back and checked in the back and he found 1 bottle.
1 bottle.
And that is this bottle.
That's this bottle here.
I opened it. I had a 1 ounce taste out of it. Because I got it late at night, I got it, I was getting ready for work, and I didn't want to drink a lot, and it was
definitely a good. I mean, for those that are listening at home, I mean, as far as whiskey goes, this is a true contender on the whiskey world for single malts. It really is.
And it's American single malt. Most people don't think of American single malts as being.
No, I mean when you said single malt, I was like, yeah, what? Okay, is this Scotch? What is this?
Yeah, no, this is not a Scotch.
No.
It hands down. You taste it and it is worlds different. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's a very easy to drink, very easy to explore whiskey, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I'm probably going to put this bottle up, and I'm going to get a small batch, and I'm going to hold on to the small batch.
Hold on to the small batch.
Yes, I'll do the small batches more so, and this is one that I'm going to save. I do not currently have a small batch, and they have a few other blends, mash bill differences, a few other selections that you can go through, which I'm interested in trying. I actually got this on recommendation from my mother's coworker. She just happened to be talking about me and mentioned my growing whiskey collection, and she asked him what she should get me for Christmas, and
that's it.
This was what she was told, and then the Game of Thrones stuff came out, and I got all 9 of those instead. But that was from several different family members because that was a very expensive collection. So I went and picked this one up. And like I said, I got the store pick, and it's dramatic. It's very complex. It was not what I was expecting because I read single malt just like anyone else, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a single malt.
Right.
And it's not. This breaks that barrier where I thought all single malts tasted the same. This is so much different and so satisfying for me. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good single malt. But the differences in still being a single malt makes is just worlds different.
Sweet. Again, Lane, thanks so much for bringing this in. I'm super impressed with Colorado's whiskey game. They're doing pretty good. They're doing something awesome. to the folks out at Stranahans, thank you so much for making a wonderful single malt here and locally in the States.
And Total Wine, guys, thanks for picking this one. This one
was definitely a good choice.
I'm very happy with it.
And back to the water, my mind's still blown with that fact. I never would have thought that just a couple drops of water would change a half an ounce of whiskey
so much.
So much. Awesome. Right. Guys, until we'll see you here soon. Take care.